Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At Shane, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's basically all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Alrighty people, we've got Maria Torvad in the house already. Thanks for joining us, Maria. Yeah, just a couple of minutes late this morning, just because I had to update OBS and then all the technicals that come with streaming from a new platform. But we got there eventually, so we are ready to rock and roll. So let's jump straight into this. Never a dull moment in crypto. Always something to report on. And here we go. This is Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Look. Binance still macking it hard because they're just like, yeah, we need this. Even though it's 18% more profitable to mine on CoreCoin. Why would they be there? Same with Huobi. Why would they be there? Are they expecting big things? Why? Why would they be doing that? The only logical, reasonable conclusion I can come to is that they think they need it. But I mean, you've got Binance like macking it hard on this utter shitcoin. It just goes to show, but look at this, BTC.com at 3.4%. And yet it's 18% more profitable to mine on CoreCoin. F2 pool has massively increased to 2.78%. Let's have a quick look at the markets, because I haven't seen this today yet. Let's see what we got here. Binance just sunk below. So Bitcoin, $169. Let's see where we are in the red today after the support levels were created after that investment that went in that we saw. So let's just have a look. Yeah, so this is where it started. That was the investment. That was the second one, and that was the third. So they've just taken like a little bit of a hit. But I mean, this was the main one they got in at. I mean, look at that. That was huge. So look at that. They're already in the profit for that. And this one hasn't been too bad either. They're in the profit for that. It's just come down a little bit. Traders. Don't mind investors. Investors go in. Traders get out. They can do one. So now let's have a quick look at this other metric. This is something that I really wanted to bring up yesterday, but check it out. Whoa! Hold on a sec. Look at this. Whoa, look at... What? Whoa, hold on. Hold your horses. What is that? We were looking at the wallet here yesterday. Like the number of active wallets has gone to, was over 100k. And now it's at 400k. I mean, that is shot past. That's shot past this initial indicator here. What is this? This is absolutely huge. So let's look at this. So there is now, considering yesterday there was 100,000 active wallets. Now there are 400. This is huge. First of all, we're just going to have a look at Ruth Easman's tweet. This is going to be a regular part of my show from now on. My my aim is to get Ruth's tweet to over 1,000 likes before the end of the year. I mean, if it ever happens, like literally, they're just taking the likes away all the time. I mean, this should be in the thousands by now, but I'm going to do this every day. Basically, I've checked this, and they seem to take my like away every 3 days. I mean, look at this. This is back on the 15th of May. It was 832 likes, then it was 868 likes. Now they've put it back down to 850. I mean, this is why we need Bitcoin. All right, and we've had I mean, look at this. We've had a 40 megabyte block mined recently. I mean, again, I mean, what's so funny about this is we look at this and 40 megabytes. But I mean, you've got to remember, Corecoin is stuck at 1 megabyte, a 1 megabyte block, and Bcrash are like stuck at 3. And Bitcoin has just mined a 40 megabyte block, and we're just like, no biggie. It's absolutely nuts. So this says the Beijing Group and Money Button partner to create the most comprehensive wallet solution in the world. All right. Bitcoin and blockchain are the future of Twitter, CEO Jack Dorsey reveals. Well, if he's going into Corecoin, you know how slow that's going to be. This was just a funny tweet here. I mean, again, I love the humor in this space. I honestly do. I laugh every day at this. So Richard Leach had said here, great work, Daniel. I went to send you $20 in BTC, but it cost me $25 to send. So technically, you owe me $5. Honestly, I love this space. I love the humor in it at the moment because it's just like it's intellectual. It's genuinely funny and witty. That's what I like about it. Now, let's go over this. I mean, again, I watched this morning when I was having my breakfast, and then, watched it for a little bit longer because obviously, it's over an hour. But I thought, well, I need to wonder if I can pick up on stuff. And I mean, this was an absolute gem. An absolute gem. So we're just going to break this down a little bit while I'm going through this. But I mean, basically, Andreas Antonopoulos admits not directly that Bitcoin hasn't got a future. Well, Corecoin hasn't got a future. But the way he said it, Laura's just like, surely you can't possibly mean that. But no, this is what he says. I'll break it down for you. Yeah, so basically she's just figured out here. She's just saying, right, so there's not going to be enough transaction volume on the network to support the miners. So what's going to support them other than the price of Bitcoin? But then, the block reward gets cut in half every 4 years. So there isn't going to be enough to support the miners. And she would have probably come onto the question, but has cut her off and stopped her from finishing the question. Again, that's political spin. Yeah, and if they're not profitable, they'll close down. Yes, there is a cliff moment when it happens because there is a point when miners can no longer break even. Yeah, I mean, look, you can see he's getting nervous because he rambles on a little bit because he's just like, I hope people don't pick up that this doesn't make sense. You see how he's like struggling for words there? See, look, trying to finish on a positive note. Yeah, today it's fine. Today, it's all right. We're talking about tomorrow, after the block halving. Well, I don't mean like, literally tomorrow. I use that loosely, but as in kind of like, further down the line. Yeah, listen to that. And she's just like, but look, the cogs are turning in her mind. She's just, and then he carries on talking. And what does that mean? What does that mean? That tests the market. He's literally just saying words out of his mouth that sound good, like, that tests the market, and, I don't quite know what that means. And this is what it comes down to. See, this is what they don't even like talking about. But the fact is, if you ask enough questions, those who are lying will eventually change their story, because the truth will be revealed. And this is where he reveals it. So now he's talking about a medium of exchange. And what was all this? It's not a medium of exchange, it's a store of value. Well, actually, if it's not a medium of exchange and there's no usage, it means that there aren't enough transaction costs to pay the miners, which means the network is going to collapse. And he's trying to skirt around that obvious point. I mean, listen to that. So medium of exchange, genuine utility against FOMO engine of store of value. FOMO engine is people going in fear of missing out. That is an absolute Ponzi scheme. An utter Ponzi scheme. And he's just said it right in front of her face. You know, but from her point of view, she's just like, oh, I'm listening to somebody who's really legitimate, who knows what he's talking about. I'll have to think about this a little bit more. I don't want to upset him because he's come on my show. This is why all the intelligent people got chased out of CoreCoin, because they start scratching the surface. It won't be long before she starts digging and bringing up these questions again, and she's going to be chased out and like pretend to be a lunatic. You know, like Gavin, she'll get Greg Maxwell will be all over her, calling her a, whatever else. You know, horrendous. What a load of okay. I mean, look at that. Absolute unbelievable. He has basically just admitted there that it's going to be a store of value, which is FOMO, which is a Ponzi scheme, and there aren't going to be enough transaction fees in the future on Bitcoin for miners to sustain themselves. So he's like, nah, let's not talk about that. We want to talk about it today. Don't want to talk about it in 140 years' time. Don't want to talk about it in the next halving. Heaven forbid. It's this FOMO thing. Turn him off. But at least she's doing her job there. Now she's like, maybe. Like, no, when she discovers this and when she starts actually looking into Bitcoin, she'll understand it all. She just hasn't got it right just yet. But, on that note, let me just check. Oh, I've been going for 53 minutes. That'll do. It is time to ding a dong and let's get it on. So until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there. Joy given. Catch everybody later. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and watch the full episode on Streamanity, free for 15 hours. Go to www.satoshi.tv. See the link in the description below.